Someone was asking about how do we reconcile free will with Allah's qadr, right? And there's various ways we can translate Allah's qada and qadr, like his decree or whatever have you. And there's a lot of people who have gone into this in more detail that you could probably refer to, but I'm just going to share one response that I got from a sheikh from before I was a Muslim. I asked this question to one of the first imams or mashayikh that I ever came across. And he gave me an analogy like this. He was there with his son, and he said, if I put my hand in my pocket and I tell my son, run over to that fence and run back and I'll give you what's in my pocket, I know what my son's going to say, even before he does it, because he's my son. He's from me. He's a piece of me. He's part of me. I live with him 24/7. I know his habits. I know his predilection. I know what motivates him, right? I know what he's going to do. Does that mean that he didn't choose to do it by himself? No, of course. He chooses to do it. Now, imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah created us. He knows us even more than anybody knows anybody else, than anybody knows their spouse or anybody knows their son or anybody knows anything. So wouldn't you think he's even more knowledgeable about what we're going to do before we even do it? But for us and for our purposes, obviously we don't have the knowledge that Allah has. And so sometimes we get tripped up thinking, well, Allah already knows it, and so how is that a choice? Well, don't forget about Allah, but forget about Allah for a second. Think about yourself. You don't know. So what does it matter that Allah knows everything? You don't know everything. So you don't know whether your destiny is to do this or your destiny is to do that, or you're decreed to do this, you're decreed to do that, or whether you don't know. That's what matters. And since you don't know, then it's a choice. And you're going to be responsible for your choice, your intention. Are you going to intend to do the good thing or intend to do the bad thing? That's up to you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to hold you accountable for that. And then Allah's plan is what brings about the results. Right? Because you could intend to do whatever. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, right? You could intend to move, you could intend to hurt somebody else, you could intend to do something good, and it doesn't mean that the conditions are going to align in such a way that you're actually going to be able to realize that thing or achieve it, right? That's part of Allah's plan. So this is why we have the hadith of Ibn Abbas where the Prophet ﷺ, he said that people are rewarded according to their intentions, right? If somebody intends something good and they're prevented from doing it, they're still rewarded because they intended. Allah's plan is what decided or determined whether that thing was going to actually happen or not. And if somebody intends good and actually is able to do it, then they get even more reward because now it's got all these sorts of other benefits. And if somebody intends to do evil, but then changes their mind, they're rewarded because of their intention, right? They turn back. But if somebody intends to do evil and then they actually do it, then that's something that they're eligible to be punished for.